Welcome to CBN4's Primetime News. I am your presenter, Sheena Harry. Thanks for staying with us. As the month of February draws to a close, it takes with it Black History Month. The beginning of Black History Month can be traced back to 1926, and activists have been calling on more recognition here in Dominica. Chief Librarian Davina Jones at the Roseau Public Library says they have had events throughout February in observance of Black History Month with the help of one well-known individual.
I have on board with us Mr. Franklin Georges, who is the main person. We have been doing a lot of outreach to the schools, both primary and the secondary schools. And we also have been having sessions here for schools in and around the Roseau area, just to give the children, history, and to just make them know what happened, who invented what the great things that black people have done and what are still doing.
The activities are not just limited to students, but recently included the viewing of 12 Years a Slave for the general public. Jones emphasized that Black history is not only a month affair, but the teachings will continue year-round.
We have a whole calendar of activities which we normally put on our Facebook page, or we have it listed on our bulletin board. This year, the library highlighted the accomplishments of Dominica's own Dr. Carissa Etienne, who is director of the Pan American Health Organization. Poultry farmers were invited to a special forum to highlight the importance of their industry and to educate them on how to prevent diseases that could affect production. Here's Larry LaRock with the details.
Dominica's ICA technical specialist Ken Coppell says the Caribbean must take all necessary action to prevent the contraction and/or outbreak of avian influenza, which could cripple the poultry industry.
Poultry production is an important contributor to the livelihood of thousands of people in the Caribbean, and poultry meat is the most consumed meat in all the countries. The socio-economic consequences of an outbreak of avian influenza in the Caribbean could be serious and impact on our food and nutrition security, and that could be grave.
Coppell, who made the statement at an avian influenza national biosecurity workshop, said the workshop was vital to create an awareness within the farming community on avian influenza, exposing participants on basic information on the disease and security measures to reduce the spread of the virus. Larry LaRock for CBN4. Dominic.
Thank you, Larry. Also making our headlines. Opponents and critics of Dominica's Citizenship by Investment program are being called out by Minister for Education, the Honorable Peter Sejean. Here's Larry LaRock to tell us why.
Minister of Education Peter Sejean has struck back at members of the opposition United Workers' Party and the operatives, who, according to him, has been openly criticizing the government's Citizenship by Investment program. According to
our education sector has been, in fact, a major beneficiary of the finances raised under the Citizenship by Investment program. The very many Dominicans who have received financial aid to assist with their studies, be it through the payment of the Dominica State College or to the Dominica State College, regional and or international tertiary institutions, or for continuing online studies, should be eternally grateful for the efforts of the Dominica Labour Party government and Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit.
Sejean, the program has and continues to play a significant role in Dominica's economic development.
To the payment of the Dominica State College or to the Dominica State College, regional and or international tertiary institutions, or for continuing online studies, should be eternally grateful for the efforts of the Dominica Labour Party government and Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit.
Cesar said it is a fact that cannot be denied that the Citizenship by Investment program has and is continuing to make an invaluable contribution to the development and improvement of the country's human resource capacity. The Education Minister added the attacks on the program are blatant and unwarranted by the opposition United Workers' Party. Larry Larrock reporting for CBN4.
In other news, the Caribbean Development Bank has released its analysis of 2015 and its projection for 2016. President of the CDB, Dr. Warren Smith, and Director of Economics at the CDB, Dr. Justin Ram, both say they anticipate economic growth, though marginal, for most of the Caribbean countries, excluding Trinidad and Tobago and Suriname, two economies that are commodity dependent. Smith stated that he sees great potential ahead despite the threats to the economies.
I am guardedly optimistic about 2016. Economic recovery remains fragile, but we expect that countries will continue on an upward growth trajectory.
According to Smith, the CDB will offer assistance to member states to foster resilient and sustainable economies. Dominica is expected to benefit significantly from loan and grant programs.
Countries. We will be able to expand the range of funding and of technical assistance available to both public and private sectors, placing special emphasis on solar, wind, and geothermal energy projects. Beneficiary countries will be able to access grant financing, very important in our highly indebted environment, for new infrastructure projects such as roads, bridges, and port development. These projects are critical drivers of economic growth and employment creation.
Dominica's estimated growth for 2015 is 3%, and our projected growth for 2016 is 3.9%. According to the CDB, Dominica's growth will be driven by increases in construction and wholesale and retail activity as the rebuilding effort following Tropical Storm Erica progresses. Newtown resident Curtis Richards, known locally as Shakes, pleaded guilty to possession of firearms without a permit. The 56-year-old Richards appeared in court following a police raid on his home in Newtown, where 5 guns, 2 Glock pistols, 2 9mm pistols, and 1 .38 pistol were discovered. Appearing before Magistrate Sherma Blaise Sylvester, Richards was ordered to pay a total of $41,000 in fines, which is inclusive of $20,000 for 1 Glock pistol and the .38, which was to be paid immediately or spend 6 months in prison, $14,000 for the 2 9mm pistols, half of which was to be paid immediately or 4 months in jail, and the other to be paid in 3 months or spend 6 months in jail. And for the other Glock pistol, Richards is to pay $7,000 or spend 2 months behind bars. Despite attorney Zena Dyer's plea for leniency for her client, Magistrate Blaise Sylvester said that a message had to be sent. And this following another police raid in Silver Lake that resulted in the seizure of more firearms. 2 other men were arrested in relation to the Newtown raid, but were later released due to lack of evidence. Chief Veterinary Officer Reginald Thomas says the region recognizes the threat of the avian influenza and continues to conduct exercises and workshops to prepare poultry farmers and other relevant officials in the event of an outbreak. Thomas said a simulation exercise was conducted in Dominica last year to test its preparedness.
An exercise. During this simulation exercise, it gave us an opportunity to see our state of readiness in the event that this disease would enter Dominica. Recognizing the gaps identified, we saw it fit to concentrate on biosecurity, as this is critical in managing any disease, especially avian influenza.
Thomas said the Livestock Development Unit of the Ministry of Agriculture will continue to support farmers through their association and is hopeful that they can strengthen their relationship with the unit as they work together on improving food security. Also in our news, toward the end of 2015, CIBC First Caribbean launched its 5,000 Reasons to Win competition, in which it entered all eligible loan customers and cardholders into a grand drawing for cash and other prizes. In Dominica, 2 winners were selected at random, Kira Celestine and Sylvanie Burton. Both ladies said the win came as a surprise, and they also gave a little insight into how that money will be spent.
Well, I'm very excited, and I'm still a bit in shock that I won the competition. And well, I'll use the money. I'll give myself a treat.
I'm surprised, but I'm pleased. And that $5,000 will go a long way. I will be using it to assist my daughter to continue her education at the University of the West Indies in Barbados. So I'm grateful to the bank for having granted me that award.
CIBC First Caribbean, formerly known as Barclays Bank, has roots in Dominica dating all the way back to 1837, when offices were first opened on the island. One-year-old Jairon has been winning over hearts ever since he made his appearance on the news scene and social media. Sadly, the story behind his popularity is not a tale of rainbows and glitter, but a sad story of a little boy battling a deadly disease. The one-year-old suffers from hydrocephalus, a brain condition that occurs when cerebrospinal fluid, the clear, water-like fluid that surrounds and cushions the brain and spinal cord, is unable to drain from the brain. This creates excess pressure on the brain, which causes brain swelling. Jairon needs urgent medical attention in the form of invasive brain surgery to remedy his condition, a surgery that is very costly. Support is needed to meet the €17,000 cost of the surgery, an amount equivalent to over 50,000 EC dollars. Reports are that various fundraisers have been organized, including a barbecue held today at JB's Unique Hair Salon in Roseau. And if you would like to pledge your support, please contact Dr. Rhonda McIntyre or Jairon's parents, Sophia Gordon and Ron Abraham. And we've come to the end of this edition of Primetime News with me, Sheena Harry. Before I go, don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and visit our website, cbn4.com.
Welcome to today's sports report. I am Alian Christopher. First up, RIC Kensborough and Waukee Rollers are looking to make a return to the Premier League as they booked semi-final spots at the Newtown playing field in the DFA Division 1 League playoffs. In the first match, RIC Kensborough defeated Cube Cheese Barbershop Bath State 5-4 on penalty kicks after their match ended 1-1 at regulation time. Joshua DeRavare scored for Kensborough, with Cressler Benjamin getting the equalizer late in the match, taking the game into penalty kicks. In the second match of the night, Waukee Rollers defeated Element Agency's LA Stars 4-2 on penalty kicks after their match ended goalless after regulation time. The semi-finals will take place next week, where RIC Kensborough will take on Waukee Rollers. RC Doctors will have to wait to see who their opponents will be, as there is no decision yet in the match between Petro Caribbean Point Michel and Itasy United, which ended prematurely. And action continues on the weekend in the DFA Flow Premier League with a number of exciting matches on the cards. Newly crowned champions Dubla Football Club will be taking on former champions of the Premier League, Bath State Football Club, at 3 p.m. on Saturday afternoon in the first match of a doubleheader at the Benjamin's Park. That match will be followed by the Kyrie FM Exodus Football Club taking on Signman Middleham United at 5 p.m. On Sunday, the Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers will come up against Caribbean Cool Harlem United at 3 p.m. also at the Benjamin's Park. Sports coordinator in the Ministry of Sports, Trevor Shillingford, has told students of the United Insurance Under-20 cricket finals to keep the sport of cricket alive, even after they have ended their time at school. Shillingford told the boys that they should remain disciplined and also remain in a proper structure.
School system that is remaining committed and remaining in a proper structure where you display a high level of discipline and a high level of commitment towards the development of your game.
Shillingford further encouraged the boys to maintain what they have been taught throughout the school system.
We know that it is very easy for you to get swayed by what is happening at the higher level, where you see players getting involved in indisciplined activities, right? We want you to maintain what you have been drilled through your school system when you get into the national leagues. Continue training, continue preparing yourselves for your various games, and to play your game with a high level of seriousness.
Sports coordinator Trevor Shillingford. Defending champions of the Intermediate Cricket League, the Police Sports Club, will be looking to bounce back from their 2 opening defeats they suffered thus far. Police will be out in full force at the Botanic Gardens as they are set to take on the Marino Evergreen as the Dominica Cricket Association Intermediate Cricket League continues on the weekend. In the other matches scheduled for this weekend, Rubens Bakery Christians will come up against Gallion at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium, while at the Benjamin Park, down at Portsmouth, the Nagico Northern Stars will play Gladiators. On Sunday, at Point Michel, the Point Michel Cricket Academy will play against P.H. Williams Colliho, while at the Windsor Park, Starlight will play against Marino Blasters Sports Club, with Dublin United Stars taking on Summits at Benjamin's Park. And welcome back. Still with cricket, there's some good news coming for Antigua and Barbuda and West Indies under-19 fast bowler Alzari Joseph in terms of some much-needed assistance. West Indies under-19 fast bowler Alzari Joseph is set to receive some government assistance following his exploits with the regional youth squad in the ICC World Cup in Bangladesh. This was confirmed by government's Chief of Staff Lionel Marks-Hurst, who revealed on Thursday that Cabinet had decided to assist Joseph with his growth and development as a cricketer. I think the intention is to invite him to Cabinet and then announce that the Cabinet may very likely provide him with a stipend to meet some expenses that are associated with building his physical strength, buying his vitamins, and also ensuring that he has proper gears or whatever might be necessary, Hurst said. Joseph claimed a total of 13 wickets during the World Cup event and took 3 for 39 in the finals against India to help the young Windies to a 5-wicket victory in Bangladesh. Joseph was recalled to the Leeward Island Hurricanes ahead of the regional 4-day match against Trinidad and Tobago Red Force starting today in Trinidad. The spinner delivered the fastest ball in the tournament with 91.5 miles per hour and bowled consistently around the high 80s and 90 mile per hour mark. Joseph removed the stumps in 4 of his 13 wickets. He had 3 leg before wicket decisions, while 3 of his victims were caught by wicketkeeper Tevin Imlach of tentative edges. Up to January 2016, the West Indies Cricket Board is reporting that at least 20 of its senior players at the first-class level, men and women, and now 3 of the winning under-19 team members have benefited from the relationship with Scotiabank and the Kiddie Cricket Program. As both organizations get ready to enter their 16th year of partnership, both organizations are reporting its positive outlook for the program going forward. The Kiddie Cricket Program across the region, which focuses on children up to 12 years old, has just about 110,000 children and is set to expand within the next 2 years, according to Senior Project Officer KJ Singh. Jamaica has increased the number of schools to 224, featuring 84 new schools, while Trinidad and Tobago will be expanding its program by mid-year. The Windward Islands has the highest number of schools in the program with 235 and that includes schools in Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent. In total, just under 920 schools are involved in the program region-wide. Nottinghamshire have held initial talks about signing West Indies all-rounder Andre Russell to play in the 2016 T20 Blast. Notts have already signed Dan Christian and want another overseas signing for the shortest form of the game. Director of Cricket Mick Newell said the club have had discussions with several agents, including Russell's. The 27-year-old has won 86 one-day international caps and played 2020 cricket for Worcestershire in 2013. But he has only played one test against Sri Lanka in November of 2015. And that concludes the Primetime Sport Report for today. I am Alian Christopher saying goodbye.